Hello everyone, it's Mike from Downtown Comics, and we are going to be talking about the week of August 7th, 2024, and all the new comics and covers coming out therein. Sounds about right. All right. Before we get started, downtowncomics.com is the place to go to check out all the different comics and covers that are coming out this week, some of which I may not have on this table. And then, as always, liking, sharing, and subscribing is always appreciated. We're going to start with DC this week. They've got a good week, some key books for them. First off, Absolute Power #2 hits. And that is a shiny cover if you can't tell. And then if you missed the first issue, it gets second printed. So we have a second print of Absolute Power 1. Another key tie-in book would be Batman 151. And we get quite a bit of covers this week. So lots of covers to choose from there. My Adventures with Superman continues with #3. I like that cover a lot, actually. That's good. And the other big book for DC this week is the return of Gotham City Sirens. So if you're a Poison Ivy fan, Harley Quinn fan, Catwoman fan, or a fan of all three, you're going to want to check this book out. And yeah, I guess you can tell. See those wavy lines there? So they did some sort of treatment on one version of this cover. And then this one doesn't have that. So they have a name for it, but I honestly can't remember what it is. So they'll be doing a few of those over this run. All right, so that's big. Birds of Prey, another team-up book, continues. A couple of Scooby-Doo projects this week. Scooby-Doo 129, and we'll see the other one in a second. The last issue of the Kneel Before Zod miniseries comes out this week. In our facsimile reprints, today we get Police Comics #1, which I'm pretty sure is the first appearance of Plastic Man. Not sure if the Phantom Lady, that was her first appearance, but yep, first appearance of Plastic Man there. The Robin the Boy Wonder miniseries. Shazam 14, and we will wrap it up with Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries, #8. All right, so there's our DC. Let's move on to some independents. I've had at least a few people ask me where that last issue of Hercules is, and here it is. It's this week. So Hercules 4. The Vampirella Dark Reflections miniseries hits #3. The Thundercats Chitara miniseries, #2. And we saw Witchblade return a couple of weeks ago, and now we have Cyberforce. Now this is only a one-shot, but Cyberforce returns for a one-shot there. Garfield gets its own little comic. There you go. And our revival of the EC line continues with the second title. The first one was horror. This one is going back to its weird science roots called Cruel Universe. So, and then we get some cool shiny covers. There you go. Yeah, good stuff there. Monster High gets a new miniseries. The current Godzilla Here There Be Dragons 2, Sons of Giants, that's a long title, hits issue #2. I've had a few people ask me where Vicious, thank you, Vicious Circle, the end of that miniseries is, and again, here it is, Vicious Circle #3. The new Sweet Paprika miniseries, there's some hard words today, hits #2. This one looks interesting. Based on the Arkham Horror, either the board game or the card game, take your pick, but a brand new miniseries by Dark Horse based in that world, so that should be fun. Ranger Academy continues with #9. Starhenge, I guess they're calling it a graphic novella. So that Starhenge miniseries from last year by Liam Sharp, it gets I think this is just a one-shot called Ore, set in that same universe. So if you're a fan of Starhenge, you want to pick that up. Beyond the Pale, Free Agents, that new one by Kurt Busiek, hits #2. The Goon, when did that #1 come out? Huh. All right, seems like a while ago, but the Goon miniseries continues with #2. Gun Honey, I believe this is wrapping up the latest miniseries, Collision Course. So we get the various covers, and I don't even know why I put this on the table, but there you go. Who knows what's inside? Space Ghost hits number 4. We have the Principles of Necromancy from Magma Comics. A brand new one from Boom, Red Before Black. I don't know much about this one, but it looks crime thrillery. Scarlet, it's number 3. Oh, plenty of covers to choose from. And we have a Deft of Spawn today. Scorched. And Misery, the miniseries. And then Gunslinger Spawn are all out this week. The Scotty Young independent book, Ain't No Grave, hits number 4. The Deviant hits number 7 by Tynan. The latest Cyberpunk miniseries continues with number 2. And our High Republic Adventures hits number 8. And Gotcha Man number 1 gets another second print. Didn't we have a second print last week? Nah, maybe it was number 2. So second printing of number 1, in case you missed it. All right, we'll get back to there's a few more independents, but we'll go right to Marvel here. All right, a new Spider-Man miniseries, Black Suit and Blood. So, always like that guy's covers. And, of course, Scotty Young. All right, the Inquisitors miniseries continues. Our big book for Marvel today is the release of the second X-Men main series, Uncanny X-Men. And we do notice that I was correct. Oh, let me get in there. Yeah. So this continues the legacy numbering, and it's 701. So that's what we got there. And there's a ton of covers to choose from. Go. Get a little Kubert action there. Negative Space. The Virgin variant. That's Marquez. Little Jim Lee homage there. We get the wraparound. There we go. The wraparound. Regular version. So many covers. Version. And then we get the cool X logo version. All right, so plenty to choose from. All right, so Blood Hunters was a mini-series, but it was so popular that they decided to make it ongoing. So we still have Vampire Miles Morales leading a team, I assume hunting monsters or something. So we'll see. Our Wolverine Deep Cut, our Claremont story, number 2. Probably one of the more important books that you should be picking up now is Doctor Strange. If you read the end of Blood Hunt, you know there's some big stuff a-brewing. This book will be heavily tied into that, so I recommend starting to read this if you haven't. Spectacular Spider-Man continues, and this one is Part 7 of Weapon Extraction. Oh, and that gives me notice to say, last week, I know in my video, I said, where was I think it was Part 3 or Part 4. You know, we had 2 parts on the table, and it jumped. There was one in the middle, and I was like, I don't know what part it is. Well, it's actually Spider-Gwen number 3. So the Spider-Gwen number 3 that came out last week was one of the parts, but that cover did not have this on there. So you wouldn't know it by looking at it. None of the covers had that, to my knowledge. So yeah, it's kind of the sneaky tie-in that if you're wondering what part of the story you missed if you're reading that, it's in Spider-Gwen from last week. So there you go. Hopefully that was helpful to somebody. All right, our other big book, I'm really excited for this. So Storm is joining the Avengers. So we're doing our lineup change this week, and yeah, Storm is joining the Avengers. I think this is her first stint on the team, and it'll be interesting to see her and Black Panther on the same team again. It's also a weapon extraction tie-in, so this is part 6. So part 6 of that. So yeah, all right. So this should be fun. And we get our little covers, and covers. All right. The Spider-Man Reign 2 continues with number 2. Ultimate Black Panther. Brand new Incredible Hulk. And for our facsimile for Marvel this week, we are reprinting the first Gambit. There you go, 266. Not the first time they've reprinted this, but the latest time. All right, brand new Daredevil. Good stuff. Marvel's Star Wars High Republic hits number 10. And we have the beginning of the Venom War. So this will be the main series for this little story. And there will, of course, be little tie-ins with all the relevant Venom-ish characters. All right, and we're going to wrap up Marvel with some current reprints. So this is the 7th reprint of Ultimate Spider-Man number 1. And then Helverine number 2 gets a second print. Wah, wah. All right, that's it for Marvel. And we're going to wrap up our independents with a My Little Pony one-shot. The Return of Prodigy by Mark Millar. So that's a brand new miniseries based on that character. And then we now are reprinting the Dark... Oh, we already got, I guess, the second issue. We already did the first one. All right, reprinting the Dark Crystal adaptation from the 80s. Yes, there. I said it right. Okay, good. All right, that's enough. There's a lot of comics this week. So come in and check them out. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.